Hello, Julie here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. And yeah. Now today I'm going to make something that I saw Corey Damon make on her YouTube channel just the other day. And I thought it was such a great idea. Now I haven't revisited it and I'm winging this, so hopefully it will work as I think it should. Now I'm going to make 4 envelopes. I'll show you how I'm making one and then I'll do the others off screen. I'm using some coffee dyed paper. I've got a couple of lace pieces and a couple of plain pieces. You need 4 envelopes to make each one of these little embellishments. Well, they're not really an embellishment, they're an actual addition to your journal page. So the the envelope I'm making, using this envelope punch, it's really easy to make envelopes. I've got my paper 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 and I need to start at 3 1/8, and that's going to make an envelope that will fit a 3 1/2 by a 6 1/2 inch card in. So put this in here and line this edge up at 3 1/8. So I've got this pushed right up against that. I press this plunger down, I hope you can see it all right, and then using this scoring tool that comes with the board, you just run your scoring tool along this crease here. Now you line this point up with the score that you've just made. You don't have to measure any more. You plunge and score. Same again. Line your marker up with your score line. You have to be fairly precise with this, otherwise they don't end up lining up. So plunge and score all the way around. Because the edges of the coffee dyed paper are a bit crinkly, it's you really have to concentrate and make sure you get your edges under there properly. Now on the back there's a corner rounder, so I'm going to just round the corners of each of my pointy pieces. You don't have to do this, but I just think it makes it look a little bit more professional looking. So that's all we need the scoreboard for. Then we fold all of those pieces up along those score lines. Like so. And we have an envelope. Now you can leave it like that with that pointy piece on there, but I'm not a big fan of that, so I generally take something straight, put it where the points meet, and then fold that up like so. Run my fingernail across it so that I get a nice fold, and then I'll fold that back and stick that like that. Now it depends, like with this one I'm going to get a plain envelope. If I fold it in the other way I can get something with a little bit of pattern on it. So what would I prefer? I think I like this lighter side better, so I'm going to just reverse everything. So I'm going to stick this piece down because I don't want that catching on anything as we're taking things in and out of our envelope. And then we can fold those in and this up, and we can run, I like to run a bead of glue along the bottom edge of this, both sides, and then the top edge of this on both sides, and that way we get a nice closure on our envelope. Once again, burnish, wipe up all that excess glue, which I always manage to get plenty of, and there's our envelope. So I'm going to go ahead and make 3 more exactly the same way. Oh, and I should have done this before, and I will do it on my others. Ink. If you're an inker, you should probably ink before you actually assemble or glue your envelope down, because now that I've stuck that down, I'm not able to ink around those edges. Okay, so I've inked around that as best I can. I've inked around the outside there, and I've inked there, and I've inked down in here. But normally I would ink down here as well. And that, I will do that with the others. Hopefully you won't notice it too much that it's not on this one. Alright, so I'm going to go away and make 3 more envelopes, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've got my 4 envelopes now, and I'm going to assemble them. Now I need to cut some cardstock. Now this is coffee dyed cardstock, so it's a good thickness, and I'm going to cut a piece of that. That is 6.5 inches by 4 inches. So I'm going to cut 4 inches. I might as well cut it at 6.5 first. 6.5. By 4. And I'll cut another piece at 4 because I'm actually making 2 of these. I'm just doing one on screen. So that's that. Now I want to mark this at, where's my ruler? Okay, so I want to mark this at 1 inch and 1 inch. 1 inch in from each edge. And just draw a line along there, just lightly. Okay, and then I'm going to score that down the middle. So it's 4 inches wide, so I'm going to score at 2 inches. Okay, now what I need to do is I'm going to attach that and that to that, making sure that I've got that straight at 1 inch like so. This is a bit of a variation on the way that Corey did it, but I thought I'd like it this way. Okay, so when you're attaching this, the trick is to make sure that you've got your flaps out. Okay. Now, if I stick that, so what I'm going to do is on one side, I'm going to stick the whole thing, so that when we put, because this is going to make a pocket, need to clean my glue spout out a little. So this side I'm going to attach the whole thing, so that when I put something in the pocket it's not going to hit on this. So I can take that out of the way, put my bottom down there and there. So I've got that lined up like so, and burnish that down. Where's my brown board gone? I'm going to just make sure that's nicely stuck on there. Now, a little trick that I saw, and I think it's a good idea, is just with a piece of washi tape, doesn't have to be anything flash because you're not going to see it, put a row of washi over that join, and it stops things from catching on the edge of that cardboard. So I'm just going to cut that off a level, and this one off a level. Don't cut your envelope, and just burnish that down as well. Now make sure if it's a washi tape that is not that sticky, make sure that you could add some extra glue to it. Okay, now I'm going to add this pocket on here, lining it up with that pocket on the other side, and I'm only going to, not exactly the same size, but that won't matter. Should I measure that down? No, I should be able to line it up. Should be able to line it up with that, like so. So, as I said, this time I'm only going to glue here, here and here. So I'm coming up about an inch across the bottom, up about an inch. And then I'm going to line that up with that envelope. Excuse my head. It's about right. And finish that down. We have it. So this is going to go into my seam. So we have an envelope there, we have a pocket here which I have to glue up, and we have an envelope there. So I need to run some glue up this side and this side, and attach those like so. Okay, so there we have pocket number 1, pocket number 2 and pocket number 3. Not very well just yet. Just burnish that down. Okay, now I'm going to do exactly the same thing for this side. So I'm going to attach one on there and completely cover this area. When I attach that envelope, I want to make sure that I've got my opening to the outside. So line that up on there, up to that line. Not exactly straight, so let's try and get it straight. Burnish. Burnish. Now, I'm not worried about the sizes of the envelopes. They are not exactly the same, and that's no problem. You can do different sized envelopes, and you can do same sized envelopes, whatever you prefer. Now we're going to attach this one, and we're going to make sure we've got our opening to the side, and I'm going to run glue all around that section there. That will attach our two envelopes together and attach this envelope to the centre section. So let's try and line that up as best we can. And burnish that down. And I forgot to put the washi tape on, didn't I? I bet you were yelling at me. Don't forget the washi, don't forget the washi. Well, I think it's a bit too late now. So there we have our little envelope embellishment. So, pocket, pocket, and pocket. And then we've got our hinge that we're going to put in our signature. Alright, so that's that. What I'm going to do now is go off and create my signatures, and when I've done that I'll come back and show you what they look like. Okay, so I've got my signatures all put together now. I mean, I haven't stitched them in or anything yet, but I have got them assembled, so I'll just show you how that fits in. So there we go, there it is in there. So just sitting in the signature, just like any normal page. You can move it up, down, round, wherever you like. So that will sit in there like that. And we'll have our flip up pocket there, our pocket in there, and our other pocket there. And then it just carries on through all the pages. And when we get to the other side, I've got exactly the same thing. You might notice that I have stitched around the flaps of the envelope and across, zigzagged across there. Pocket in there and pocket here. I have of course stitched around all of the pages in the journal as well. So I'm making this journal using the digital kit from SunflowersAndDors called Sunflowers and Labradors. So my next step is to make the cover and stitch the signatures in. So I'm going to go and do that off screen. I'm going to have a fabric cover, and how I make my fabric covers is I have a layer of watercolour paper, which is a nice sturdy, thick watercolour paper. It's about 300 or 400 GSM, and then I have a layer of double-sided iron-on interfacing, and then a layer of fabric. On this one I'm going to use a yellow on the inside because it will go nicely with these colours in here, and then I do the same on the outside of the cover. So I put double-sided what's it called, interfacing, and then put my fabric cover on that, and that will make my cover, and then I'll stitch my signatures into that. So I think they look really nice in a signature, something a little bit different as you're flipping through your pages. There we go. So that's going to be my 2 signatures for my next journal. So I'll go and make my cover, and I'll stitch these in, and then I'll come back and show you the finished, well not finished, but the assembled journal. Okay, so I've created my cover and I've bound my signatures in. I've used this hemp with, or I think it's hemp twine with the gold woven through it because I thought it matched my cover nicely. I did think about using black, but I thought this was a better blend. I have stitched all around my cover just to keep, you know, that stops in it. I don't mind if it frays a bit, but I don't want it to fray all the way. So that's my cover. I'm very happy with the cover. I've got some of this fabric in my Etsy shop if you're interested in using some on one of your covers. I think I've only got one piece left. So yeah, so my journal is in. My signatures are in. and it's all ready to start working on. I haven't done the closure on the cover because I will do that later on when I see how fat this is. I might put some sort of an adjustable closure on it. I've got a 1/2 inch gap between my signatures. That just gives me some extra space. And as you can see, I've got room here where I can expand if I need to. I've allowed plenty of room there. So there we go. So there's my new journal that I'll be working on for the next however long it takes. And yeah, I'm glad that you could join me, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. I mean, I didn't show you exactly how to bind the journal or anything like that, or exactly how to create the cover, but I did explain that to you. And with the binding, I've just used a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I've left these cords long in case I decide to put some dangles or something on there. I used my awl to poke the holes. I used a template to mark the holes, and then I just yeah, if you Google or if you go on YouTube and do a search for 3-hole pamphlet stitch binding, you'll find hundreds of videos there showing how to do it. So there we go. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have enjoyed my video. If you have, please consider giving me a thumbs up and leave me a comment, and I will see you when I post my next video, I hope. Okay, bye.